This episode is brought to you by the good humans at the Front Porch Restaurant. The Front Porch invites you to celebrate 20 years of Southern hospitality in the Mission. Come eat some of their storied dishes: fried chicken you dream about, shrimp and grits with red-eye gravy, and Dr. Pepper braised short ribs. Enjoy great cocktails, a well-curated wine and beer selection, or creative NA drinks. Slushy, anyone? And here's what's awesome. Simply mention Storied SF to receive 10% off your bill. Remember, when there's too many delicious choices, just say, "Fuck it, get a bucket."
You know, the world was weird and closed, but hey, here I was in this little bubble. Like, literally, it's safe to be inside of it, and I'm not hurting anybody. And driving around this little thing and just, I mean, this still happens to this day, but like then in particular, you just started seeing it. It's this look that I've gotten really used to, which is like, and you've probably seen it, but you're driving this, you'll probably see it when we drive later, but this amazing combination of confusion and delight that you see on people's face. It's very visible, and they're like it's like one eyebrow is up, but they're smiling at the same time, and you see it all the time. They're just like, I don't know what that is, but I'm really glad I saw it.
That was Todd Lappin, the human who imported and drives Kiri, the Japanese fire truck. I'm Jeff, and this is Storied San Francisco, a show about the artists, activists, and working people who make this city unique. In this episode, part 2 of 2, Todd shares the story of how he found and imported the little red Japanese fire truck that's bringing joy to the Bay Area and beyond. Here's Todd Lappin.
And so basically, but I did that with that car. It was great. Loved it. That car, I still own it. That car is wonderful. But at that point, and this happens with things in life where I'm like, well, now I know how to do it. I should do more of it.
You got one under your belt.
Yeah, I'm like, it's like hard and intimidating until you do it, and then you're like, oh. So then I was like, I just want something really goofy, and or just fun, just something fun, because the car I have is more of a collector's item, and
right.
Has like, yeah, it has collector vibes, or whereas like again, I don't need that. I like that, but it's like, what about some of the other weird stuff that we couldn't get? And so, and that's when I had heard about these little Japanese fire trucks, and I, the other thing is always family negotiation about, like, Daddy wants to get another car, or Daddy, don't you already have enough cars?
Yeah.
Getting the first weird Japanese car was weird enough. The steering wheel's on the other side. Yep. You say to somebody, I'm buying a 25-year-old car I've never looked at from Japan, and everybody thinks you're nuts, So we had already gone through that, but then Daddy wants another one. But on this auction site I was looking at, there was one of these Japanese fire trucks, and I thought that was really cool. It looked like it was going to be a good deal.
When was this?
This was, it's pretty easy to place it. Yeah, this was 2019.
Right before the pandemic.
Yeah. And then the auction basically came and went, and I didn't get the car. But meanwhile, I'm going to Japan pretty regularly and just kind of, tuning into a lot of things, starting to actually make car friends in Japan, which is really, really cool. Like, you get out of the usual bubble that you're in, and you're now into, it could be anything. I could be into basket weaving or pottery. It doesn't really matter what the interest is. It's really a cool way to share an interest with
niches.
Somebody. Yeah, niches,
little
right.
Niches.
These
little
subcultures, right. And so I was getting kind of into the subculture on the Japanese side. And basically, this auction came up for a little Japanese fire truck, very similar to the one that I have now. It got a little rich for my blood, although it turns out it wasn't really that expensive. And I backed out of the auction. And my family, who normally is like, whatever, Dad's like a weird car person, had actually been like, oh, we were kind of psyched for that.
You found something that they liked.
Yeah.
So they approved because it's cute.
That was all the enabling I needed.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, well, we don't need to go to this auction site. I can just get one because I know how to do that.
Wow.
So that's what happened. I worked with an importer in Sacramento. Really, really cool guy. His company's called Vans from Japan. We still work together, and he's bought a lot from him. And And he was really great about being patient because, again, nerdy sidebar is that the Japanese auto market is designed for exporting, like used cars. Like that, Japan taxes cars more as they get older, and so what that does is it creates an incentive to get a new car and then not to hold on to it for too long. And then there's a pretty big industry in Japan of taking those lightly used cars and exporting them all over the world. So like Jamaica right now is literally full of these really cool Japanese cars that we never got. But that are kind of
from the brands that we know, from the car makers that we know.
This is just for example, but like this one particular car called Toyota Probox. It's like a work station wagon basically. Okay. It's somewhere between a van and a station wagon.
Okay.
They're not beautiful. I rented one to try it out.
Sure.
But the point is that like this is what's great about the Probox. This is a great example of this. There's these like videos of Japanese rappers doing like songs about their Probox.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And he's sitting in a Tokyo parking garage and he's like doing a rap about his Probox. And then there's a video of the Jamaican taxi driver doing raps about his Probox. And it literally is like, that's the first owner, that's the second owner, and then there's more Jamaican, their third owner, fourth owner. Oh my God. So about the same model, you know what I mean?
Right.
And so that's kind of how Japan's export market is set up. It's set up to serve a global market. And so there's like a standardized auction, essentially assessment system. There's pretty good pictures that you can get. So shopping for a used car in Japan is actually not that difficult. Well, it is different in that you actually can know what you're going to get. You know, like you actually have a pretty good idea what you're going to get. You're going to be surprises, but you're not going to be super surprised because the auction system's has a lot of integrity, basically.
Right.
Like the system has integrity. So anyway, it wasn't that hard to get one. Just was like waiting for the right one to come by, but we're looking at pictures. We almost bid on one in the main auction system. I didn't bid on it, and then it ended up at a used car dealer in Japan with a lot more pictures. And then my importer said, "Oh, look at now that we can really see it. This is actually a good one." And that was the one that we got. So put it on. And the key part to this is, I pulled the trigger. I sent a money order to Japan for a very small amount of money because they're not expensive. I think buying the truck in Japan, which is different than getting it to my door, but I think it was $2,000.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so cheap.
Did it cost more to get it over here?
Yeah, way more.
Way more.
But at that point you're like, whatever. It's not that much. You're still not talking a lot of money. So, and it also because it's a fire truck, it had so it was a 30-year-old car with 2,000 miles on it.
Wow.
And you knew it had been maintained because it was a fire truck. So you're not really that worried about it. You know what I mean? Like there's not going to be a lot of surprises. So I sent my check to Japan in early March 2020, like the first week of March in 2020. And just like, whoop, you know, I'm going to do it.
I'm sensing there's a hiccup coming up.
Yeah. And then, you know, like 2 weeks after I send the check, the world, you know, hell freezes over. The pandemic, we're lockdown begins, and our lives are really different for a long time. Then in July, basically my importer goes, "Your truck is here."
No way.
And I mean, I had been tracking it, but basically in mid-July, exactly what I just said happened. Like, a truck pulls up in front of my house, pretty much, and offloads this weird fire truck from Japan.
Did it already look like it looks now, or have you made any cosmetic embellishments?
I have not made it. I've kept it exactly as it was.
Okay.
We can talk about this later, but I've met the guy who'd driven it. I've been on the whole journey with it.
Was he a Japanese firefighter?
Yeah.
Or,
like
okay.
I've met the town. Like they know me in the town.
Yes.
You know. So like, it's a whole story for them too, as much as it is for us. And but yeah, so it looked exactly like this. What it didn't have, which I then spent the next year kind of doing for fun, it didn't have all the fire accessories.
Okay.
I had to find them. Like it had the lights and the sirens.
It's decommissioned. It's retired, right?
Yeah.
So that makes sense.
It was decommissioned. So it had the lights, the sirens. It also still had the name of the town on the door.
Oh, yes.
And
what is the town?
Yeah, the town is this. So this is where the name is. The fire truck is named Kiri because it's from the town of Kirigamane. Kiri. Kiri Kirigamane in Nagano, Japan, which is a little town. But in Barrier terms, I've been telling people, imagine Pescadero.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a
Okay.
bit, it's kind of like Pescadero.
I get that reference.
Yeah, you can get the idea. It's kind of
I
like
love Pescadero.
Imagine Pescadero, but at like 4,000 feet.
Right.
So it gets a lot of snow, and it sat in this volunteer fire brigade garage at the foot of the local bunny hill. They have a ski area.
Oh, okay.
It's a bunny hill. It sat there for 30 years.
Was it like the truck
Yeah.
for them?
Yeah.
It was
they
all
have
they
one.
all they had. Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
My mind is just going a little
Yeah,
bit
it's really
bananas.
cute. And so
Like that makes a lot of sense for like a small
Yeah.
mountain town.
So the Japanese, again, a nerdy digression, but the whole things you end up learning. But I swear to God, I didn't know this beforehand. So as an excuse for like, I didn't start out this much of a nerd. But what I have learned is that so people always ask, it's a very small fire truck. Why is it small?
Why
And
small?
everyone is always saying, well, Japan has those little narrow alleys and everything like that, which is true, but that's not why it's small. That's a handy feature, but most of these fire trucks like this are used in rural areas, and where space is not really a problem.
Right.
It goes more like this: the way Japanese communities have been fighting fires for hundreds of years have been about Japan's wet. This is where it's not like California. It's wet. It rains a lot. They have rice paddies. They have lots of streams. So the Japanese firefighting model that they've been using since literally around the 1500s
Oh wow.
is all around the idea of bringing pumps to pump the water that's already there.
Already there. Yeah.
So when you start with that model, and Japan does that model all the way up to like when Fukushima blew up.
Right.
Their whole model is not about we bring in tons of water. It's all about we pump
The water
massive
that's
amounts of
around
water
us.
that's all around us.
Okay.
And what that means is, and this is where it gets, why is Kiri small? Why are these kinds of trucks small? They don't carry water.
Got it.
And when you're not carrying water,
You don't need a big engine. Any of that.
you're like 20,000 pounds you're not carrying. So if you don't carry water, you don't need a big truck. And this was designed to not carry water, but to use ambient water as necessary. So it basically just carries a pump, a suction hose, and a lot of lime, the kind you spray, like
Right.
hose that you spray from. Yeah.
Right.
And that's it.
So it's July, you said, of 2020?
Yeah, so July of 2020, it arrived.
She
I
arrives?
go with it. I don't want to gender it.
arrives?
I don't
Okay,
want to
no,
really
no,
put it
yeah.
in a box.
Yeah. Well, that whole thing about ships is
Yeah.
weird. It's weird anyway.
Yeah, it's weird anyway. But
okay.
yes, it's definitely not a ship, though. So.
Yeah. Okay. So it arrives.
Yeah.
And I want to know, like, from your perspective. Again, it's lockdown. It was a weird ass time for about a year and a half or two, I would say. I got married the next year in the middle of that, and I remember like it was an outdoor wedding that went through the streets of like the Mission or whatever. The amount of joy that our like 20-minute procession brought people, I'm guessing is like there's something like that from when you started driving it around, taking it out in the city.
Yeah,
What
that's
was-
exactly.
How was it received?
That's exactly what it was.
Yeah.
It was like, so the world was weird and closed, but hey, here I was in this little bubble, like literally it's safe to be inside of it, and I'm not hurting anybody, and driving around this little thing and just, I mean, this still happens to this day, but
Yeah.
like then in particular, you just started seeing it. It's this look that I've gotten really used to, which is like. And you've probably seen it, but you're driving this. You'll probably see it when we drive later. But this amazing combination of confusion and delight that you see on people's face. It's very visible.
Yeah.
And they're like it's like one eyebrow is up, but they're smiling at the same time, and you see it all the time. They're just like, I don't know what that is, but I'm really glad I saw it. And and it was true during the pandemic, especially, but it's even true now. Like. The amazing thing about the little Kiri, the little fire truck, is it creates what I call this like unicorn bubble around it. There's just like bubble of weird, serendipitous, happy energy that people it just brings out the best in people.
Joy's a buzzword, but
Yeah.
it brings joy.
Yeah, it's like, but not just joy. It does bring joy, but it also brings like interaction and serendipity. Like, you know what I mean? Like, people behave differently.
Yeah.
They do different things than they would if it weren't there, and it's really cool. The closest analogy I've come up with is like, and the other place where this happens is like, it's like driving a puppy. You know how like when like there's a puppy on the street, it creates this little unicorn bubble around it, you know, and everybody is like, hey, you know.
Yeah. I've tried to walk puppies. It's different points in my life. It's like good luck. Good luck getting to the end of the block.
Yeah, you can't get to the end of the block. But you will relate to this too about what your role is when you're walking the puppy, and the answer is nothing. Your role is to be the guy to answer the questions about the puppy.
Exactly.
Nobody wants to know your name. They don't want to hang out with you.
Never.
They just want you to be the chaperone for the puppy. And that's kind of the role that I've taken on with Kiri, which is like, nobody knows who I am, really. Nobody even cares who I am. They just want me to tell them about what the hell are they looking at.
Yeah.
And I like that.
Well, on that subject, I think we can probably kind of start wrapping up with this is for listeners, how do they see it? How do they experience it? Like, do you take it out on a schedule? Like, do you take it out on request, or like, how does that all work?
I like doing events but civic events. I don't really do. I get a lot of. There's a terrible business in hiring it out for birthday parties, which I'm. If I'm really unemployed and you see me doing that, that's a cry for help.
Okay.
I just want you to know that if anybody put that on the record,
Yep.
if I start doing it for money, then you know that I'm really hard up right now.
Okay, got it.
So if it happens, it means things are going really poorly. No matter what I might say on LinkedIn or anything like that, you know, no matter how positive I might sound, I'm lying.
All right.
Okay. But I do get a lot of requests, and I just don't do it. I've always tried to, it's sort of like with Burnowood, too. I've just, both of these things, I've been like, they're going to be fun to the extent that I don't even try to monetize them.
Right.
Because they're outlets for me. They're hobbies. They're like, the whole point is to not be like the rest of my life. And I like the rest of my life, but this is the other thing. And so I love doing parades, any like civic events. This was true during the pandemic, and has also been true since. It's been a fantastic bridge between Japanese culture and the Bay Area, and Japanese people and the Bay Area.
Awesome.
You know, like if most basically non-Japanese people look at it and get that weird, confused, delighted look, Japanese people get this other look, which is like startled.
Yeah. Like, why are you driving a fire truck?
Or like what blue space laser dropped this thing, you know, from another planet that I know really well it's not supposed to be here. You know, it's dislocation and but they love it, you know, but they're just like really are confused and like really confused, but delighted, but even like more. So it's been really, I love doing things with the Japanese community here, and again, some of the relationships I've been able to make because of that are so meaningful to me.
Awesome.
So, and that's kind of what I've used it for, is to try and basically, I mean, it's corny to say, but to try and bridge communities through this goofy-ass fire truck.
I love it. I don't think that's corny for the record.
And it is an unbelievable calling card. I mean, the other example of it, which I really love, which is, so it's not surprised that like the Japanese community here really likes it. Maybe not a surprise that the Chinese community is also taken to it. You know, weirdness of the politics between those two countries aside. Locally, that's not a thing. So, what's also amazing is like lowrider culture has taken to it in the mission, that they're just like, you know, like come on out to our event. And I've been to a lot of their events. They gave me a participation award.
You weren't in the parade, were you? Or it wasn't in the parade?
Not in the parade. I was out of town, but I have been in a lot of them. Again, like not this year, but in previous years.
Awesome.
And I don't even not being in the parade, but I just like do the same thing. Drive up and down the street. The one other thing that the fire truck has, which we haven't talked about, is really an important part of it, and it took me a while to figure this out, is it has the siren. The siren, and so the lights work, the red lights work, and those are the original red lights. They're fun, but you're not really supposed to use them.
Right.
You know, because the one thing, cops have been really great, really super cool. The one thing they all say, and it's like, don't pretend to be a fire truck.
Yeah. Can you do lights though?
You
I get
can,
sirens,
no.
lights.
Don't
Okay,
use
okay,
lights.
okay.
But again, like if I'm in some obviously like, you know, like on a parking lot, that's one thing. But like don't go down the street with the lights on. So I don't do that. And that makes total sense. And but it also has a siren. And again, this is a Japanese fire truck quirk. in Japan, the same fire truck will also be used to do like public service announcements. So they'll drive around and go, it's autumn fire prevention week. Let's not smoke in bed. And there'll often be a recording. Like they have these loop tapes that just plug into the siren.
Okay.
Well, you just plug into the siren means there's an input jack. So I can basically run my iPhone through the siren. And so that's enabled like this whole world of sound. Music, yeah.
Yes.
And it's been great because the siren, obviously I don't want to say it's high fidelity, but it's designed to be heard 2 blocks away. It throws sound really, really well. And so there's just have had so much fun with music. And so during a lowrider event, I'll just roll down Mission Street with all the lowriders playing lowrider.
Yes.
And and everybody's just laughing and just
it's in this little
it's so absurd.
Totally.
And so it really has been really amazing for transcending cultures, even within the city in this really great way, which is I think it's secret power.
Superpower. I realize it's early in the year, but you also do a calendar. Is that right?
Yeah, we do a calendar. My partner and my partner is in the publishing business, so she does this also as a for fun project. We do a calendar every year based on the pictures from the last year. And we sell it, but we sell it to raise money for the Cal Fire Foundation.
Right.
Because that's kind of a statewide thing, and especially when we've been doing it for a while with them, so now we have a bit of a relationship. But again, remember all the fires not that long ago.
Yes.
The fire truck even spent like one Sonoma firestorm in a metal shed while I was waiting for license plates.
Oh wow!
So it was close to home.
Yeah.
So we basically have been donating the proceeds from the calendar every year to the Cal Fire Foundation.
And where can folks find the calendar, and how can they find Kiri, the teeny tiny fire truck, and all that stuff online on social media?
That's you just said it. It's on Instagram. It's teeny tiny fire truck is the account. It's all one word. And if you would like a calendar, we still have some. If you actually reach out to me, I'll probably send you one for free at this point. And that's also teenytinyfiretruck.com.
That was Todd Lappin. We recorded this episode at Pinhole Coffee in Bernal Heights. On the next episode of Storied San Francisco, meet and get to know Gina Marico Rosales, founder of Make It Marico. Gina kicks off our AA-NHPI month with episode 17 on May 5th, 2026, wherever you get podcasts. Music for Storied San Francisco was produced, performed, and curated by Otis McDonald. Our contributing producer is Aaron Lim of Bitch Talk Podcast. And the show is produced and hosted by me, Jeff Hunt. Now in our 8th season, we have more than 300 episodes available on our website, storiedsf.com, or wherever you listen to podcasts. If possible, please rate and review the show. I want to know what you think. Find us on Substack for our monthly newsletter and more. And follow us on Instagram and Threads at storiedsf. Reach us there or email us at storiedsf@gmail.com. Thanks for listening. Try to stay hopeful in these dark times. Keep being wacky, creative, and kind out there. And we'll see you next time on Storied San Francisco. We acknowledge and respect the first humans of the unceded land we call San Francisco, the Ramaytush Ohlone. We condemn the genocide of these and other tribes across the Western Hemisphere. We honor their legacy and history, and we support rematriation and sovereignty efforts.